We'll take a look at our starting lineup here for today's race. Ryan Leach and Blair Hosey sharing the front row in the number 56 and the number 8. It'll be James French and Nico Bratz starting in row number 2, third and fourth place. In row 3, it's Andy Vogel, the number 34, and Bryce Mertzberger making his first Rush SR start in 6th. Jason Oler, Lee Kellert, who had that spin in qualifying, got a good enough time to start in 8th. 9th and 10th, Brett DiGiacomo, and young Ethan Alexander rolls off 10th.
And now in 11th, we've got Mark Jarnagorski, and in 12th, we've got Bill Wright. And then followed by on row 7, we got John Robinson in 13th and Nate Hamilton in 14th. The first of the Rapscallion Racing drifters. Ayrton Grimm in 15th. Good start for him. Jalen Batley in 16th. Gage Hughes in 17th and Robert Desjardins in 18th. On the 10th row, we got TJ Hunt, the second of the Rapscallion Racing crew, and Jeremy Boyson in 20th. In
21st place will be Nick Billingsley alongside Kelsey Billingsley. They'll be rolling off in row number 11. 23rd place will be Larry Brady, number 59, and AJ Campo starts 24th in her 227. Jared Anderson starts in 25th place, right alongside Matt Wilson with that awesome-looking fire suit. 27th place, Pat Brady, alongside Tom Kirsting in 28th. 29th place is Jake Sanders, and Tim Burkhardt starts 30th. Ito, last couple of rows, it is going to be the number 55 of Chuck Desjardins and Paul Klitsch in 32nd, and bringing up the rear of the field for this first race of the weekend, John Howe in that sort of oil slick color, number 17. That's your starting lineup here for the Gridlife Rush Series as the cars make their way around turn number 9. Remember, 12 to 15 minutes is the race duration here. If we have to slow it down or throw a full course yellow, we might get a couple of extra minutes in a few time windows here. We have a few minutes extra to play with should we need it. But remember, when the white flag comes out, it signifies the last lap of the race. Fans lining the berms around Gingerman Raceway, turns 2 and 3, and up on Festival Hill as well, under the tents around this facility. It has been a great weekend so far. Absolutely perfect weather. Huge crowd last night for the festivities and the concert, and more to come this evening. You know, tense moments here before the start.
Yeah, safety car lights are off, so they're intending to go green on this next lap. And again, the start finish is at the end of the front straight, so that's going to really bunch them all up together. And then the top 5 are going to be fighting it out into turn 1. We'll see what I didn't catch what choice Ryan Leach made for his line choice heading into 1. Looks like he's on the inside of 1. We'll see if his competitors can take advantage of that, or if he finds a way to stay ahead all the way through turn 2.
Time to go racing here. It looks like the safety car has pulled off. We are about to get going in Gridlife Rush Series, race number 1 from Gridlife Midwest Festival. Here we go. We're going to get the start at the later flag stand. You see Creature there shooting the video trackside. Adam Jabay with the green flag, and we're underway in the Gridlife Rush Series. Immediately, James French on defense, 4 wide into turn 1. You can't do that. That math does not work into the opening corner. Hosey slots into second place, but it's Ryan Leach out front through turn 2.
Yeah, and Andy Vogel and James French both got a jump start there, but they couldn't go anywhere. They were blocked out. Andy tried to make a move on Nico Bratz on the outside of 2, but didn't get it done.
Down towards turn 3 now. It looks like Leach and Hosey. Look at Hosey get a little bit of a good run there. Nico Bratz in the red car a little bit wide, and then Ethan Alexander tracking out to the edge of the curbing and heading down towards 5.
Yeah, and here they come into turn 5. They're line astern all the way together. No 2 lines. Oh, as we see TJ Hunt trying to make a move into 5 there. Not sure he got that done, but we're still 1 through 5 are the same as they started this race.
Up towards turn 7 now. We'll see if maybe Blair Hosey can find an advantage in the faster corners here. Mostly single file. Matt Wilson having a look at the inside into 7, but Leach able to pull ahead here, but no major advantage over Hosey. It's still 2 or 3 car lengths now as they sweep through turn 9, about 100 miles an hour corner speed in these cars.
Yeah, the gaps are staying pretty consistent here. It looks like the top 10 have kind of sorted themselves out. We do have 2 wide heading into 10B there from a couple of those cars. Taking the inside line, a good pass there. Ryan Leach gets a little bit wide on the exit of 10B. He's leaving the door open for Blair Hosey behind him.
Big draft up the back straightaway. That lead car punches a hole in the air. It's going to mean less drag for Blair Hosey on the outside here. Down into turn 11. Can he cross over on corner exit? Throttles down a little sooner. Leach tracks out wide. Battle for the lead is on.
Yep, he defended clean air there, and he didn't get a good exit off of 11, and Blair Hosey's going to try to take advantage of it into turn 1.
Oh, big lunge on the brakes for Blair Hosey. The car was nervous there. James French, who has won the 24 Hours of Daytona in the Prototype Challenge class a number of years ago. He's very experienced in this style of car and putting pressure on for second place.
Meanwhile, Andy's getting pressured from behind by Ethan Alexander, so he's losing his 5th place spot there as the top 3 are separated by about a second. James French now closing in on Blair Hosey, but he caught a little bit of too much of that inside curve, loses his drive, but he's drafting him now into turn 5. Not sure if that's a passing zone, even in these cars.
Down into turn 5 here. This is going to be a nice battle here for second place, but as long as Hosey's defending from French, he's going to start losing sight of Ryan Leach. And where's Vocal? Nowhere to be had. He'll be frustrated again. He's been trying to get Ryan Leach off his back, or at least get in front of him at least sometime this year, but just unable to do that from P5 right now.
Looks like he did defend his position from Ethan Alexander. I talked to the turn-in guys yesterday, and they said they were having setup issues with that car. Hopefully they can figure it out throughout the weekend, but for now, he's going to have to stay in 5th place and let the top 4 kind of drive away from him. Yeah, Blair Hosey heading into 10B now. Ryan Leach with a good gap to him. They've kind of opened themselves through 7, 8, 9 here, all separated by about 2 seconds now.
Yeah, we'll see what's available here. Looking to see if we can get timing sorted there. They've been fighting some issues up there this weekend, so we'll get the scoreboard up as soon as we can for you as they head down the backstretch. Leach over Hosey, over the number 70 of James French, Nico Bratz, Andy Vocal. Then it's Ethan Alexander up a couple spots from the start.
Not sure what Blair's doing there with his hand. He was waving at, there looks like there's a car. Yep, there's a car stuck, beached at turn 11 gravel trap, so maybe he was acknowledging the yellow flag waving there.
Yeah, full course yellow, so the field will slow down. And I see a safety truck moving, but it is at turn 11. It is. It's Matt Wilson off in the sand trap there, the black and yellow car. Yeah,
well beached there. He's not going to get himself out of that one. They're going to have to go get him. So that's going to neutralize the race. And I think that's going to be a welcome sight for Andy Vocal, who's going to try and close back up to the top 4 and see if he can challenge any of them for a spot.
Yeah, so they'll get in behind the safety car now and slow the field down and hold positions for the time being. But Andy Vocal, this is going to be good for him. Get a chance to restart. Same with Ethan Alexander.
Yeah, they were fighting each other through turn 1 and 2, but Andy held onto the position and then was sort of driving away from him in the second half of the lap. Looks like Ethan's trying to keep his tires warm as the rest are kind of line astern. Not seeing a whole lot of 2 wide or 3 wide instances here. I wonder how much of that is due to the aero, or how much of that is due to these drivers just kind of being at a different pace from each other. That it's just all working itself out into a sort of a line, if you will.
Yeah, if we get a chance to restart, which we hopefully will, we're going to restart single file, by the way. So that means that we're not going to double up like we did for the start. That gives you the opportunity to try to get a good launch, but you cannot jump the restart. The way restart rules work here in Gridlife is green means go. It's very simple. There's no 2 lines that you can start between or anything like that. As soon as the green is displayed, drivers can accelerate. So you can't try to anticipate it or try to get ahead of it. They're going to look at a video if you do try to jump it.
Yeah, and we've seen at CMP in Road Atlanta that Ryan Leach is very adept at these restarts. So he's very good at it, and we'll see. I haven't seen Blair Hosey necessarily at these first 2 races going up against Ryan Leach, so it could be that together they're both going to be equally as good at it, or one's going to be better than the other. So we'll see if that restart is going to be enough for Blair Hosey to try and make a move happen on Ryan Leach. They're all getting bunched up into the back straight here. The safety car leading them on. It looks like they're still recovering that car in the gravel trap of 11, so we'll likely get another lap under yellow here as they're all line astern together, bunching up. But they're going to have to think about how they're going to keep their tires cold, or how they're going to keep their tires, their brakes warm. They don't want to fall out of their best operating window and lose pace to those around him. So, yeah, it's a tricky restart here that we've got. Yep, it looks like the safety car is going to be out there for 1 more lap. They're almost done recovering that car out of the gravel trap at 11. So, yeah, we're going to get, there's 9 minutes left, so there's probably going to be 3 or 4, maybe 5 green laps still once the safety car comes in here.
Which is plenty of opportunity for a lot of these drivers, I think. So we'll see how things go on this restart. But again, curious to see what maybe Blair Hosey can do on this restart, if he's got enough energy or effort to get around him.
Yeah, and it's interesting seeing James French, warming up his brakes there. He's kind of accelerating, then braking, then accelerating. So he's trying to keep his brakes warm through this pace lap. You don't see a lot of people are just kind of driving around, so I wonder if that's different approaches and different comfort levels with how the tire behaves at different temperatures. So it's an interesting kind of difference between how these drivers handle this safety car lap So yeah, we'll see whether anybody can take advantage of it. They're all bunched up back together, so we might see some action heading into turn 1 or through the rest of the first lap here.
Yeah, so working on getting the timing and scoring pylon for you. It sounds like because the green happened after the first passing of the start-finish, there was a little bit of a trip up in the relay to the graphics. So hang tight while we get that scoring pylon sorted out, but the cars will continue to circulate behind the MX-5 safety car. But Ryan Leach going to be on defense here, watching both mirrors for some very hungry drivers in trail. Nobody else other than Leach has won a Rush Series race in 2025. It's just been the number 56. So Blair Hosey trying to compete for a championship in that number 8. We're in the SRX, the new car from Rush Auto Works at Road Atlanta. That will be a multi-class format here in the Gridlife Rush Series in 2026.
It's worth noting that Ethan Alexander, in those first few laps, he moved up from 10th to 6th. There, so that's how he's challenging Andy Vogel here for 5th place. But the top 5 have all stayed in the same position that they qualified in. So everybody's kind of at the pace they expect. I wonder if Blair Hosey is kind of using the draft to stay in touch with Ryan Leach. So we'll see if Ryan Leach can try and create a gap for himself after this restart. We expect the safety car hopefully to come in this lap. Looks like we still have recovery vehicles out there in turn 11. So hopefully they can get that clear. Fortunately, turn 11 is very close to the pit in. The pit in is right next to turn 11, so once they get that done, they can pull in.
And they've slowed the field down as well by the looks of it, so they can basically modulate the speed of the safety car. And they'll basically go green at the soonest opportunity. They might go one more, though, and that's all right. We'll see. Just keep an eye on the lights.
I see the safety car is pulling off now. So it could be they go green here. It's a tricky balance because if you go too slow, you really cool down these cars too much. So they have to go at a safe pace to keep these cars in their operating window. And I see the lights have come off. I think that safety car it has. They're going to go green this next lap by.
All right, we got the timing and scoring up. Big thanks to Ryan upstairs restarting our connector for us. So we're all good now. Noted on that for the future as the pace car pulls off. And
they're gone. They're going.
Not quite.
I saw a big acceleration. Yeah, they're all
Here
accelerating.
we go. There's the green. Adam Jabay waving the green flag from the flag stand. We're back underway in Gridlife Rush Series Race 1. And the good restart there by Leach, not so much by Hosey. French has a look on the outside. Look at Bratson. Vogel side by side. The pink car going for 4th place on the red car into turn 2.
Yeah, Blair Hosey maintains that position. Andy's going on the inside of Nico Bratz. Let's see if he can complete that pass. Bratz is on the outside in the marbles, struggling to put power down.
Yeah, Bratz was unable to get throttled up out of turn 2, but here comes, is that Nate Hamilton up the inside? What a great drive for Hamilton, who started a little bit deeper in the field, up to 7th place now, moving ahead of Oehler and Kellert on that restart.
Yeah, it looks like Ethan Alexander was sleeping there a little bit, and he got exposed to Nate Hamilton there. So that's a great job by Nate Hamilton, and Andy Vogel moved up a spot over Nico Bratz.
Yeah, through turn 6 now, pretty line astern, a little bit of side-by-side deeper in the field. But they're getting sorted out, going to town there. There's the 121 Ayrton Grimm, who started, 15th place, and he's dropped a spot here. So trying to move forward a little bit more, but it's tough to pass in this sector of the racetrack. Maybe the back half, he's going to have a run there on is that the 33? No, I thought it was the 33 perhaps ahead of him.
The 58 there.
Yeah.
That's right. The 58. Yep. So he's going to try and maintain, but we've got passing going on into turn 9. That's a tricky place to do it, but in these cars, they're narrow enough that they can get it done. Looks like that's
Batley around Robinson there. The 88 moves by. It's actually that car's livery has changed. It was the Mazda 787B, but now it's actually a throwback to the Supra from Fast and Furious 1.
Yep,
which is why it's got more orange
pointy figure there. And yeah, Ryan Leach still has the lead over Blair Hosey. Blair Hosey is caught back up. Ryan gets a little bit wide on the exit. James French is just struggling to stay in touch with these two. If they fight, they're gonna bring him back into the fight.
Yellow flag, turn 11 once again. Has there been more contact or an issue over there? And yes, there is. It's the 22 car of Jeremy Boysen who's gone into the grass.
Yeah, it looks like he spun around into the grass. It's hard to see whether he's beached it there or not, as Blair Hosey's going to try and move around the outside of 3 on Ryan Leach. Not enough overlap there. He's going to try the over-under and get a better drive out of 3 to see if he can get him into 5.
Yeah, this is an important battle here because if we get another yellow, the race would likely end under it. There is a yellow at that 3rd sector, but it's not full course just yet. So race on for the top spot here as they work through 5 and 6 now. Blair Hosey trying to poke a hole in the defense of Ryan Leach. Throw the cannonballs at the city walls into turn 7. Leach feels that he goes defensive into 7, but moves back onto the racing line for corner entry.
Yeah, you don't want to be defending clean air here because it's going to sacrifice your line through the next corner. So Ryan Leach is doing a great job of that. And these two, they're far enough ahead of 3rd and 4th place that they can do a little bit of fighting without having to worry about losing to James French and Andy Vogel right behind them. He's coming up on him into turn 10B, but Leach goes defensive on the inside of 10B and holds Blair Hosey right behind him.
Yellow is clear at turn 11, so we're good to race here. They were about to enter that zone, which means you could not pass through the yellow flag, but it's now back to green flag racing all the way around the racetrack here. Blair Hosey looks to the outside of Ryan Leach. He's right behind him now. Can he cross over on corner exit? It will be white flag. The 22 car still is there, but they've actually recovered it with the yellow flag. So yellow at sector 3, but the last lap, this will be 1 to go here this time through.
Yeah, looks like Blair's going to try the outside line, setting up for a better exit to try and make it into turn 2, but no overlap there, so he can't really force Ryan Leach off his line. He's got to find a way to get overlap, and now he's getting it on the inside of 2. Can he maintain the drive into 3?
Leach throws the block on him. Here comes Hosey to the outside. He's going to try to break the long way around. Sparks out from the left front. Can Hosey cross him over at the exit of turn 3? Leach throttles up and tries to drive away.
Turn 3 doesn't let you doesn't really open itself up to over-unders because of the advantageous camber, so you can hug the inside and still have power out of 3.
You're going to have to get it done by 10B because there's still that yellow at turn 11. So that means that Hosey has to make this pass into 10B or he's not going to get to make the pass at turn 11 because of that yellow flag.
Yeah, absolutely, but he looks a little bit too far away here heading into 7 as they come through the very technical 7, 8, 9. There isn't really another passing opportunity until 11, which is currently covered by yellow flags.
And I don't know that he's going to be close enough. Leach, a little bit of a bobble there in that white and black car out front. He's been undefeated so far. He wants to keep that perfect score, that batting average of 1,000. Down into turn 10B. Blair Hosey is going to be so tantalizingly close, climbing out of the hill at 10B, but he's not there. Ryan Leach is going to enter the yellow flag zone, and he's going to be protected by that. He won't have to defend it. You cannot pass through this last corner because of that yellow flag.
Yeah, really almost faultless race from Ryan Leach. Does a really great job of staying clean ahead of Blair Hosey.
And he'll do it. Continues his winning streak, 9 for 9 in 2025. Ryan Leach wins Gridlife Rush Series Race 1. Blair Hosey 2nd place. Then it's James French, Andy Vogel, Nico Bratz. Then Nate Hamilton up to 6th place. Great drive there. Followed by Oler Alexander. And did TJ Hunt score a top 10? Indeed he did in that number 28. Strong effort there. Tragonorski in 11th place. Bill Wright, Batley, and more. But how about that? How about John Howe up to 27th place? He's still, can he defend from this spot? Here comes the 59 of Larry Brady, battled into 10B.
Yeah, they go too wide into 10B, choosing different lines. Let's see if John Howe can over-under him on the exit of 10B. But again, he's not going to be able to pass him into 11, so he doesn't really have a chance to get by.
Up towards 11, again, no passing in this zone. You'll see the yellow flag right center screen right there. You see it waving. So no passing into that corner because of the pink card. Jeremy Boysen stopped on corner exit. Adam Jabay with the cowboy hat on. Going to throw the checker here again for the rest of the field coming across the stripe. Good gain for John Howe from the back of the field, but Gridlife Rush Series Race 1 is complete. How about that?
Yeah, Nate Hamilton gained something like 8 spots, and TJ Hunt gained 10 spots. So those were both great runs from those two drivers in this first race.
Well done. Ryan Leach has been unbeatable in 2025. Blair Hosey gave him a run for his money. If I had to venture to guess, I don't think that Leach will be able to do this all weekend long. I think he's going to have somebody finally break through. Leach wins this race over Blair Hosey, James French, Andy Vogel, and Nico Bratz. How did Nate Hamilton, though? Great drive up to 6th place.
Yeah, followed by Jason Oler, Ethan Alexander, Brett DiGiacomo, and TJ Hunt coming all the way from 19th into 10th.
Yeah, great run there for TJ Hunt. Good for the championship points as well. He was top 10 coming into this round. He will likely maintain that if he can repeat this a few more times. Have a look at the rest of the order here, down from 11th to 20th. Mark Tragonorski in the 25 car. Bill Wright, Jalen Batley, John Robinson, and Nick Billingsley up a couple of spots from the starting order. Ayrton Grimm didn't have the race he was hoping for, sort of mired in traffic for most of it. Finishes behind Gage Hughes, but ahead of Bryce Merceberger, Kelsey Billingsley, and Robert Desjardins.
Yeah, up into 21st is Tom Kirsting. In 22nd, Lee Keller. AJ Campo finishes 23rd. Jared Anderson in 24th. Jake Sanders, 25th. Tim Burkhardt in 26th. John Howe in 27th. Moving up all the way up from that 33 spot. Pat Brady, 28th. Jacques Desjardins, 29th. Paul Klitsch in 30th, and then to round out the rest of the remaining positions, so Larry Brady in 31st, Jeremy Boyson in 32nd, and Matt Wilson in 33rd.
There you go. There was a look at your results. Let's have a look at the highlights from Gridlife Rush Series, race number 1. Great start here, 3 wide, a little of a lockup there. A couple of drivers dropping tires in the dirt, and immediately it was a battle at the front between Ryan Leach and Blair Hosey, and then right behind the number 70 of James French. Look at Hosey hounding the 56 of Leach, went up for it on the inside, but could not quite get there. There's a look at Ayrton Grimm battling mid-pack there, and Jeremy Boysen and a few others slicing and dicing throughout the field. There was the spin for the number 22 and a couple other cars that found their way off track in that high-speed turn 11, and then Hosey hounding Leach for the rest of the race.